What if your neighbor was part of a cult, and you never knew until it was too late? Stay with us, because what you're about to hear will shake your soul. The last fact? It will ruin your sleep. Forever. Number 10. The Ant Hill Kids. The cult that carved loyalty into flesh. Deep in the Canadian wilderness, a man named Roch Thériault founded one of the most terrifying cults in modern history, the Ant Hill Kids. It started like many others, with a promise of peace, survival, and spiritual protection from the looming apocalypse. But within months, that peace turned into obedience through unimaginable pain. His followers? They weren't just believers. They were victims and prisoners. He claimed to be a prophet, but instead of miracles, Roch delivered punishments. Nails through hands, amputations without anesthesia, and even branding. Pay attention! I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. What if I told you? One member begged to leave, and Roch responded by surgically removing part of her intestines, himself. Yes, without any medical training, no sterilization. And she died in agony. All while the others watched, frozen by fear and blind devotion. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. But here's what no one saw coming. Even after Roch was arrested, some members still believed he was a divine being. Some visited him in prison, asking when he would return. And that's just number 10. Wait. Listen. Please subscribe. Your subscription and watching this video can truly support my journey and inspire me to work harder. Let's continue. Number 9. The movement for the restoration of the Ten Commandments. The prophecy that burned 500 alive. In the lush hills of Uganda, a gentle preacher claimed to receive messages from the Virgin Mary. She warned of impending apocalypse. Only those who obeyed every commandment, without exception, would survive. Thousands believed. They gave up their homes, money, families. Even speaking was forbidden unless approved by the cult's leaders. But then, the world didn't end. The date came and went, and doubts began to rise. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. Just days after the failed prophecy, leaders organized a final feast in a sealed church. 500 men, women, and children gathered singing hymns. What they didn't know: the exits had been nailed shut, gasoline was poured, and the building exploded into fire. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. Investigators later found mass graves around the compound, proof that the leaders had been quietly killing dissidents for weeks. This wasn't just mass suicide. It was planned mass murder. And the leaders? Gone. Vanished. Never found. Number 8. Superior Universal Alignment. A cult that hunted children in Brazil. It began with a woman named Valentina de Andrade, who believed Earth would be cleansed of evil, and who was evil, according to her twisted gospel. Children born after 1981. She claimed these children were void of souls, obstacles to humanity's spiritual awakening. Her followers, obsessed with astrology, began hunting them down. Yes, real children, abducted and murdered. In rural Brazil, dozens of boys went missing. Some returned, mutilated. Others were never seen again. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. When police finally cracked the case, they uncovered a terrifying web. Politicians, judges, and even police officers were involved in the cult. Those sworn to protect were part of the killing. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. Even more chilling, Valentina was never convicted of murder. Despite the horrors committed under her name, she walked free. And she's still alive, Riti. Today, watching, waiting. Number 7. The Order of the Solar Temple. The cult that vanished in flames. This secretive group emerged in Switzerland and France in the late 1980s. Their belief? That death was an illusion. To truly ascend, one had to pass through the flames of transformation. But that transformation wasn't metaphorical. Members dressed in ceremonial robes entered firelit rooms and never left. Over 70 members were found dead in coordinated ritualistic departures, most with gunshots to the head. But the deaths weren't all suicides. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. Autopsies revealed that some were drugged, tied up, and executed. These weren't just spiritual journeys. They were murders dressed as rituals. And the buildings where they died? Set ablaze, always leaving behind scorched symbols and chilling messages like, "Now we are truly alive." Part number 6. Shinrikyo, the cult that gassed a city. Tokyo, a morning like any other. People board subways, rushing to work. Then, chaos. In 1995, a cult known as Shinrikyo released sarin nerve gas into multiple subway lines. Thousands collapsed. 13 died instantly. Others were left blinded, paralyzed, mentally broken. The mastermind? Shoko Asahara, a half-blind guru who claimed he could levitate and predict global doom. He preached that only his followers would survive World War III. But instead of preparing, they stockpiled weapons, chemicals, even tried to develop a nuclear bomb. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. The Japanese government had multiple warnings. People who escaped the cult had tried to alert the public. But no one listened. By the time authorities acted, the cult had over 40,000 followers worldwide. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. After Asahara's arrest, his final prophecy spread online. It said, "When my voice goes silent, the seeds will sprout." And they did. Splinter groups formed, one of which exists today under a different name, Recruiting Online, disguised as a wellness community. You may have seen one of their posts and not even known it. Number 5. The Family, Australia's cult of bleach and mind control. In the quiet suburbs of Melbourne, Anne Hamilton Byrne claimed to be the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, but not the forgiving kind. She saw herself as a divine mother and began collecting children. How? By convincing her followers to donate their kids to her care. Dozens of children were raised in isolation. Blonde wigs were sewn onto their heads to make them look alike. Their real names were erased. They were drugged daily with LSD, Valium, and antipsychotics. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. Anne taught them that the world had ended, and only she could rebuild it. Those who disobeyed? Locked in dark rooms for weeks. Some were even burned with irons or injected with sedatives as punishment. But when the police raided the compound, something insane happened. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. Anne escaped to the US and lived in luxury for years before being found, and even after her arrest, she served 0 jail time. She walked free, smiling. And to this day, some survivors still call her Mother. Number 4. Heaven's Gate, the cult that rode a comet to death. It started with science fiction, UFOs, New Age mysticism, and a belief that Earth was about to be recycled. Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles told their followers that salvation waited aboard an alien spacecraft just behind the Hale-Bopp comet. But to board it, they had to leave their earthly vehicles behind. In other words, they had to die. In 1997, 39 people, wearing identical black outfits and Nike shoes, laid down in bunk beds and took their final dose. Calmly, smiling, believing they were about to ascend. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. Each body had a purple shroud over the face. Their pockets? Filled with $5 bills and change. Toll fare for the spaceship. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. Applewhite's teachings were so hypnotic, some ex-members tried to join them even after the mass suicide. One man succeeded. He ended his life years later in the same ritual. Even today, their website is still online, maintained by loyal followers. They're still waiting for the next comet. Number 3. Children of God, the cult that sexualized the apocalypse. What if I told you a group claimed God encouraged sexual sharing, including with children? Founded by David Berg in the 1960s, the Children of God promised love, community, and salvation. But behind closed doors, it was a horror show of manipulation and abuse. Berg told his followers that sex was the highest form of worship. He promoted it in letters sent to all members, often illustrated with disturbing cartoons. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. He even invented a tactic called flirty fishing, ordering women to seduce strangers into the cult by having sex with them and the children. Raised with no outside contact, brainwashed daily, many later spoke of trauma, captivity, and grooming. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. Some of the cult's children grew up to be household names, like actors Joaquin Phoenix and Rose McGowan. They later escaped and exposed the horrors they witnessed. The group still exists today under a different name, the Family International. And yes, they're recruiting online. Number 2. Jonestown, the massacre in the jungle. This is the cult that redefined the word mass suicide. Jim Jones promised paradise, justice, and racial equality. He convinced over 900 people to follow him deep into the jungles of Guyana. He named the settlement Jonestown, but the paradise quickly turned into a prison. Armed guards watched everyone. People were punished with beatings, starvation, and solitary confinement in pitch-black cells. Then U.S. Congressman Leo Ryan arrived to investigate. Some members begged to leave with him. Jones panicked. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. Gunmen followed the congressman to the airport, and Tui executed him and his crew on the runway. Back at the compound, Jones ordered everyone to drink poisoned punch, cyanide-laced Flavor Aid. Babies were given the liquid with syringes. 918 people died. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. But here's what few know. Not everyone drank willingly. Autopsies revealed many were forced. Some had injection marks, meaning they were murdered for resisting. And Jones? Found dead, with a bullet wound to the head. The only body with a gunshot. Did someone stop him? Or was it a final act of cowardice? Number 1. The Order. A cult that wanted to trigger doomsday. This group wasn't about love or enlightenment. It was about chaos, violence, the end of the world. Founded in 1983 by white supremacist Robert J. Matthews, the Order sought to overthrow the U.S. government and ignite a race war. They weren't just loud, they were lethal. The group robbed banks, bombed buildings, and assassinated a prominent Jewish talk show host. Yes, they committed cold-blooded murder as part of their divine plan. Their doctrine combined religion, Nazism, and apocalyptic prophecies. Members believed they were chosen to destroy the corrupt world order. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. They wrote letters soaked in the blood of their enemies, claiming the killings were blessed by God. And when police surrounded Matthews on an island, he refused to surrender. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. He died in a 35-hour siege. Burned alive in a fiery shootout. A martyr to his followers. But here's the most terrifying part. The Order inspired dozens of terrorist cells across the U.S. Even after their leader's death. They don't wear robes or chant hymns. They wear suits, hide in suburbs, and believe the final war is coming. Final surprising fact, the hidden cult you never knew existed. Here it is, the fact we warned you about in the intro. One that most people have never heard, yet it's very real. There is an active, unregistered cult operating through virtual reality metaverse platforms. They don't have compounds, they have servers. And they lure people, especially teens, through spiritual games, meditation events, and digital baptisms. But here's what insiders revealed. Once inside, users are put through hypnosis simulations, dream manipulation scripts, and neurohacking loops that mimic religious awakenings. Some have reported memory loss, mental breakdowns, even blackouts lasting days. And this isn't sci-fi. A classified warning was issued in 2022 by cybersecurity officials, saying some VR groups are replicating cult tactics with AI-generated avatars. You won't find their name, but you might find their room. Don't click random portals. Don't join unknown meditation servers, because the next cult may already be inside your mind.